Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, we're going to be doing a video about NIO, and the biggest question that arises from it is it too late to buy NIO stock? Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So today, we're going to be talking about, NIO stock, and it's we have seen that NIO has been experiencing a lot of growth. Looking at the 5-year chart, this thing IPO'd September 12th of 2018. Currently up 936%, and looking at the 1-year chart, it is currently up 1,579%. Looking at the 3-month chart, it is up 159.38%. And so we have seen that NIO was a huge growth stock in 2020, basically going from about $3 a share all the way up to about $60. And a lot of people are now wondering, is it too late to buy NIO stock? Do you expect NIO to have a pullback? Where do you think NIO stock is going to be headed by the end of the year? And for me, I don't think it's too late to buy NIO stock. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but I still do see a lot of growth for NIO. I still do think the stock does have a lot more room to grow. The reason I say this is because we got a good look at NIO Day, basically where NIO is going to be headed over the next couple of years. Really them trying to perfect the self-autonomous driving technology, really trying to crank out more vehicles, raising capital as much as possible to be able to expand, ramp up production, and with NIO's plans to expand into Europe by the middle of this year, 2021, NIO stock is going to be growing for a very long time. We have seen the consistent growth. We have seen the sales consistently increasing, and the company is probably going to be basically profitable way quicker than it took Tesla to be profitable as well. If you guys don't know the story of Tesla, it took Tesla about 15 years to be a profitable company. So NIO is going to hit profitability way before Tesla did. And it also honestly looks good for the company. It looks good for NIO in itself. But another big reason is because the EV market is really starting to mature. The EV market is really starting to have more rampant demand, which is why I don't think NIO stock is actually done growing. We saw in the year of 2020, the stocks that had the biggest growth were tech stocks and also a bunch of EV companies. The reason that is because people are looking towards EV to be the carrier into the future. There's so much you can do with battery power. There's so much you can do with EV. The markets are almost endless. You can put them in cars, you can put them in trucks, you can put them in almost anything. So the markets are going to be evolving kind of towards more of a kind of EV-based tradition. Even statistics have shown that 20% of all car sales are going to be electric cars by the year of 2025 in China, and they expect that number to jump up all the way up to 50% by the year of 2035. So the EV market still has a lot of time to grow. I know a lot of people are thinking that the EV market in general is overvalued, along with NIO stock as well. But for me, I think it's just the start of something new. A lot of people aren't really used to this much rampant growth, but the EV market really just started to reach the pinnacle of its growth, and the EV market is still going to be growing for a very long time. This is why I do think that NIO stock is still worth the investment at $62.07. I still do think the stock is cheap compared to its long-term growth. Am I saying that the stock is going to replicate another 1,500% year? No, probably not. But I can expect NIO to actually hit triple digits probably by the end of this year, and expecting it, even looking at it from a bigger term perspective. Can NIO follow the footsteps of Tesla? Can NIO eventually reach $2,000 a share? Well, nobody really knows. No one can really read the future, but looking at it from a bigger perspective, the EV market is still growing. It's still becoming, a lot more rampant. It's a very explosive market, so really nobody knows what could happen. If we took a look at the beginning of 2020 and you really evaluated NIO as a company, no one expected that NIO would basically be approaching a $100 billion market cap by the end of that year. No one expected it, but the growth is there. We have seen it time and time again that a lot of EV companies are still doing very, very well. It's not just NIO in itself, it's a bunch of other EV companies, which is why I do think it is the perfect time to actually start picking up a bunch of these EV stocks, including NIO. So NIO currently rates number 1 as the top Chinese EV company, second being Li Auto, and third being XPeng as far as sales goes in themselves. So NIO currently does lead, in China as the top EV company, which also obviously looks very, very good for NIO in itself. But we have seen that NIO is now dropping a new sedan. It's the ET7 sedan to be able to compete with Tesla, Tesla's expansion into China, which is what NIO really needs to focus on, in my personal opinion. NIO already being the top Chinese EV company, it's probably going to stay that way, but NIO needs to answer fast as far as Tesla's expansion into China goes. But NIO answering back is also another reason why I do think that NIO stock is a very good buy at these levels, and why I don't think it's too late to buy NIO stock, because On NIO Day, we got to see where the company is going to be headed, the perfection of the self-autonomous driving system, rolling that out into a robo-taxi delivery service, a whole new selection of vehicles, not just a new sedan, but it's another sedan, an SUV, and a minivan. If you guys didn't know, NIO only currently sells SUVs, so then putting a sedan on the market is absolutely going to be huge. We saw the updated, bigger, better battery, the 150 kilowatt battery in itself. So it goes to show that NIO is headed in the right direction, and it just projects that NIO is going to be growing for a very long time. I don't think that NIO stock is done growing, even though it did grow 1,500 and something percent in the year of 2020. I still think that it's going to replicate a similar amount of growth in the year of 2021. Like I said, I'm not expecting the stock to grow 1,500% because the stock would be way too expensive at that point, but looking at it from a bigger perspective, it's not out of reach for NIO stock to be hitting triple digits by the end of this year. Their sales are continuously increasing, their revenues are starting to increase, and the EV market is very explosive. It's very rampant, and as it continues to grow, so are a bunch of these EV stocks, including NIO. You know, a lot of people are already calling NIO the Tesla of China or the next Tesla, and NIO has definitely earned that reputation. It's growing very fast. I don't think people are giving it enough credit for what it actually should be. I do think people should pick up the stock. Obviously, like I said, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but you have to take a look at the bigger perspective, along with the growth of the EV market in itself, and really where NIO is taking its business and its ideologies in itself. Goes to show that NIO stock is going to be growing for long amounts of time. For me, I'm going to be holding NIO stock for a very long time, and over the next couple of years, I would not be surprised if NIO is a $300 stock. I do think that NIO does have the potential. NIO is already being backed by a lot of big-time analysts, already putting up a bunch of analyst upgrades, the highest one I believe being $75 from JP Morgan. So these big-time investors are also super bullish on the EV industry, and they're also super bullish on NIO. I can see the long-term growth continuing for a very long time. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of NIO stock. Do you think it is too late to buy NIO? If you guys own NIO stock, how many shares you guys own? What's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.